What's good? What's good? Let me get out of the street. Memphis, what's up? It's your man Rico the Opinionist. Visiting Memphis, raise your expectations. What's good, Hair Diva? Love the group. Yesterday, raining and all that, so it's beautiful and warm and somewhat windy out here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Shout out to my folks there in Memphis. Shout out to Hollywood, Springdale, North Memphis, you dig? I just want to share some thoughts on Memphis politics, if I may. Every 2 years, every 4 years, we go through this same thing. Get out to vote. Get out to vote. Never really tell you why. Even when I lived there, I always get out to vote. Same things happen here in Dallas. Get out to vote. But especially in the black districts, they never really tell you why. They just tell you, it's your right to vote. People die for you to vote. Blah, 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 blah. But it's come back around. At least these two particular races. This district attorney general's race, I guess there's 3 Democrats in it to face Amy Wyrick in the fall. I guess she's the Republican. And these three are vying. These 3 folks, there are 3 people vying for that seat. But can I go back just a second? I remember a few years back before this election, they had Janice Fully Love running for mayor, Judge Joe Brown running for DA, and of course the Honorable Henry E. Brooks was running for juvenile court clerk, right? I was like, man, if at least Judge Joe Brown had won the DA and Henry Brooks had won juvenile court clerk, I would have thought about really seriously thought about moving back home to Memphis. And then the news started coming out how folks got offended by Judge Joe Brown's delivery, and they accused him of attacking her sexual orientation, Amy Wyrick. And then people started saying that Henry Brooks in the news reportedly, allegedly, accosted some white woman with some water from her water bottle, and all of a sudden, but I just like, it doesn't make any sense. In the mayor's race, had all these different people in there running in the mayor's race. And I just want to know, before I finish that little story, I want to know this. How come Black Memphis still hasn't has not, I guess, gotten the understanding of putting in a consensus candidate? Now, I remember the last time that was done is when Dr. Harrington ran against, I forgot that mayor's name, to become the first black mayor of Memphis. Everybody, got together, and those other candidates begrudgingly left the race. But I don't understand. If Memphis is a majority black city, but you have a minority group of folks there, and all they have to do is put one of them in there, and you got like 3 or 4 of the black candidates, well, it's going to split the vote. Now, these are intelligent people who jump in these races. They have law degrees, master's degrees, some have PhDs or business owners, and they still seem to not understand how to do a collective thing when it comes to voting or campaigning in Memphis. It's the weirdest thing, and it's still happening. Strickland got in because you had about 13 Negro candidates to get in the race, and of course, as usual, the accusations of people being paid off to get in these races. These black candidates get in just to split the black vote and all of that. And my question is, how long is this going to continue? How long is my hometown going to be this politically immature? Why are we allowing people who look like us to sabotage us? We expect it from other people. But people who look like us sabotage us because they get a small envelope of ones from the opposing side. And yes, just in case those of you who are sensitive to the word RACE, I talk about race a lot. And so I don't have a problem with race. Race. Because America was created based on race. And let me get across the street, because these folks got these dogs over here, and I'm finna move. Let me get across the street, because they got their dogs in a long leash, and I don't try to pet people's mutts. Hold on, y'all. Y'all bear with me as I walk past these people. And see, these are young dudes too. They play too much. Okay. Now walk y'all behinds in the park. Okay, good. They get out the sidewalk. See, you know what? On a side note, I hate pet owners. And I'm not a huge fan of pets. But anyway, why do we continue to sabotage our own efforts in my hometown? I'm not saying that Dallas-Fort Worth is any better, but my eyes are always on what's going on at home. And we're still doing, I've been gone for 14 years and we're still doing the same silly stuff. Still sabotaging each other. Because we got all these different factions. Everybody want to be a chief. Even if they get paid off by somebody else to try to be the chief. Or be a chief. Well, it seems to be the thing that's going on in this DA's race. Hold on a minute. Okay, y'all, there are people who voted against their own interests, in my opinion. You decided you didn't want Joe Brown because he I guess he was too masculine. He spoke too much truth, and so that offended, I guess, the preciousness of a particular group of blacks in Memphis. I don't know what happened, but that was the man who should have been DA. All the experience in the world. He's from Memphis. He worked in district criminal court. He was the man. He was the person for that job. But due to the immaturity of the voters of Memphis, they let this guy slip through their fingers. Now he's going to try to run for mayor. Don't y'all blow it this time, because that is the mayor that Memphis needs right now. Memphis needs him as mayor. I know he got 1,000 Negroes throwing their hats into him, but we probably need to have a people's campaign or something, people's convention, so he can tell them, look, get out of the race so we can move Memphis into the 21st century. That doesn't make any sense. And then some old white woman they dug up from a grave site somewhere. Kay Rebillio ended up being the juvenile court clerk or something. Some mess. She came out of retirement because black folks call themselves being so multicultural and being so they want to prove to others that they don't have a racist bone in their body, that they didn't vote for Henry Brooks. That was the woman who's supposed to be there. You know why Henry Brooks was supposed to have won? Because as county commissioner, she was kicking butt for District 7. And she even went so far as to do the study to prove how black juveniles were, number one, the most tried as juveniles in Shelby County. Of all the counties in Tennessee, the most tried as grown-ups, as adults. Number two, she went on to show that there was a disproportionate amount of black children arrested and sent to juvenile court as opposed to their white and other counterparts. She did the work, and I'm not done yet. She went on to show, her work, not only was it true, but it was validated, I think, by the FBI. They came down and it was a whole write-up. We all heard it. We saw it. They said she is correct. She's telling the truth. It is true that there's a disproportionately a large amount of black kids being sent to juvenile court as opposed to other groups of people. And now one would think like, wow, that's excellent. Y'all let her slip through your fingers. So do me a favor, don't let Representative Henry Brooks or Henry E. Brooks slip through your fingers again and vote her in for, because I think she's running for her old county commission, Shelby County Commissioner seat. I think it was once held by Tammy Sawyer. So she's going back in, and we need her in our district. Because this is a lady who doesn't mind doing the work, who doesn't mind calling out the foolishness. I don't know what y'all have against that. But yet y'all talk about how you love Dr. King and Malcolm X and all of that. They called out stuff, but somehow we don't want our politicians to be like that. It's the weirdest thing. So now, in this DA's race, because now everybody's screaming, we don't want Amy Wyrick. She's terrible. She's rough. Well, he tried to tell y'all that then. Judge Joe Brown told you then. But that's okay. I'm not going to tell you I told you so. I just read the comments and I watch how people are really suffering. Now you want to point out all the stuff that Judge Joe Brown told y'all. But that's okay. You got another chance to do it over. We have 3 people running. We have this white guy. I'm checking this out. This white guy named Steve Mulroy. On the way, I think he came from the Shelby County Commission. And then, you know the weirdest thing? I saw the commercial there. I was home recently, and I saw the commercial where Patrice Robinson, city councilwoman, Patrice Robinson, and also former school board member Patrice Robinson. Look, don't ask me. I don't know how that lady keeps getting elected to stuff. I don't know how, because, I don't know how. But you can ask that about the majority of the black politicians who keep getting elected in Memphis, and Memphis still remains in the 1900s. So she and I think this Ramesh Akbar, state representative, state senator Ramesh Akbar, they're standing next to Steve Mulroy, grinning and cheesing in that commercial like Tony Orlando and Ben Dunn. And see that right there. I guess, was that an example of Black Girl Rocks right there, with those 2 women did that? I'm telling you, I mean, the disrespect that we have for our own is so blatant now. They don't even care. Where's the support? So now you have this other person. I saw a name. I saw billboards or poster boards. It seemed like in order for you to win in Memphis, you have to have the most yard signs. People don't seem to go by your experience or read your pamphlet or ask questions. And so I went ahead and did that myself and asked a few questions around the city. Like, who are these people? What are they talking about? And so you have her in there, which I think she's probably the one who's put in my opinion, because I don't know the lady, but it's like her credentials don't match anywhere near the lady, what's her name, Linda Harris? Because I went and checked out her credentials and I saw her little video and stuff, and she read down what she did, and I said she might be the best. She is the best qualified. This is not an endorsement, y'all. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I'm Rico the Opinionist. You know, she's clearly the best person for that job. But that lady, I don't know her, but I lived in Memphis. I left there at 37 years old, because I'm very aware of how, a lot of us tend to operate in that town. And I don't see why she's in the race. But unless, I guess, maybe she thinks she has a population that she can win, but it's fine. And I understand we all have the right to run. I get that. But when are we going to start working on behalf of our race, our group in Memphis, and stop just those black politicians always working for themselves? When is that going to start? How did y'all think Atlanta became Atlanta? They all got together. They understood that they're the majority of the people there, black folks, and so they behaved accordingly, politically, and economically. But Memphis is still light years behind when it comes to that behavior. Not sure what's her name. Her last name is White, and if I understand, she's like the niece of Reverend Ralph White. I remember him. He was a very nice man. I remember him. He was real nice. He did a lot for the community. Rest in peace, Reverend Ralph White. He's real cool. I used to hear him on Bev Johnson's show all the time. Very soft-spoken man, but he really cared about the community. I don't know if that gene passed down to her, but I don't know what her record is. I'm hearing that she works for the Bailey law firm and stuff, and I don't know. All I know is what I see in the community. I've never seen her anywhere in the community. I've never seen that Milroy guy nowhere in our community. And we can all go into these black districts and see there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And Ms. Harris, she's been around a long time. She's been in various systems, coming to understand that she was even a police officer. I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, I would take it like this. Maybe she understands the mindset of cops and she will know how to deal with them. Because the DA I'm sure has a lot of police issues on their desk as it relates to charges and files of police misbehavior. So If I were to pick anybody, I would think Miss Harris would be the one and ask and politely, respectfully ask Miss White, would you mind getting out the race, ma'am, please? Would you mind getting out the race? Because the white guy ain't going nowhere. He's gonna see what he's gonna do. He's gonna get the white votes, and he's gonna get a siphon of some of the black votes. So Miss Harris needs all the votes she can get, and then you got Miss White gonna come in and split the vote. Well, Amy Wyrick has a strong hold there in Memphis. If the right person doesn't win that Democratic nomination, well, she's good as in again. She's as good as reelected. If those of you who are really passionate about her not being there, y'all have a conversation with Miss White and maybe that the Milroy guy. Have a conversation. And then y'all have a conversation with Ramesh, what's her name, Akbar, and Patrice Robinson. Say, sisters, what y'all doing? Well, I mean, one of us biracial, so Ramesh, you say, half sister, what you doing? And then Patrice Robinson, what you doing? Y'all know, you see what we trying to do here. And then also, what happened to black girl magic, black girl rocks? So I guess that's only convenient when you think you thumb your nose up at white folks or men. Yeah, black girls, right, black girl magic. But where's that black girl magic? Why can't all the black girls get behind this most qualified, quote unquote, black girl as in Miss Harris? Those are questions that I have. You know, I'm one of those Aquarius thinkers. Someone has to explain things to me. Why are these things still continuing in my hometown? Why are we still shooting our own selves in the foot? Why are we so afraid of black domination? I mean, true black domination in a city that's close to 65 to 66% black. You know, sometimes my hometown reminds me of apartheid South Africa. You had 100 white people ruling over 1 million blacks. That's how Memphis behaves. Memphis doesn't seem to be confident. But the so-called black leadership there, and then the little black folks that try to run for office with these tight suits, tight shirts, tight socks, tight belts, tight collars, tight watches, tight socks, tight everything. You watch those little tight clothes wearing dudes. They ain't up to no good. Just watch them. All in the name of looking modern and urban, man, that looks like other stuff. Y'all watch them little cats. And I'm not a fan of these folks wearing this weave all day long, because I have a t-shirt that says, fellas, if she's wearing weave, you better leave. I don't trust them either, because if you can't trust yourself with your own hair system, I don't trust you with nothing else. Come on, somebody. Whew. Miss Harris has her own hair. I don't know how long she's had it, but she has her own hair. So, those are my thoughts on that DA's race. You know, maybe y'all need to go in there and have a conversation with those three ladies, Miss White, Miss Ramesh, Akbar, and Patrice Robinson. Like, sisters, what y'all doing? Maybe they could talk they zaddy, they little white zaddy in out of the race. I know it's just me wishful thinking. Let's go to the juvenile court clerk race. See, I just want to say all of those who are running, because also another thing about these political races, we have so many black folks that love to run just to get jobs because of the salaries. These elected jobs, appointed jobs, they pay upwards like 6 figures. They make a lot of money. They've been killing the game. And so they make a lot of money. And so a lot of people, they go from office to office trying to get the highest paying jobs. They don't even care if they don't have any experience of the job they're running from. That was my experience in the 37 years I lived in my hometown before I moved away. I got sick of it. And then whoever runs, they want you to have, well, he can't run because, well, they'll have enough street signs. What you do is you're supposed to study people's records. You're supposed to see who they are, where they come from, check out what they've done in the community. And all these folks that's running for all these offices, none of them have been in any black parts of Memphis doing any work. Trust me. They haven't. They lie like, well, I mentored. You ain't mentoring nobody. These kids still going to jail. Cut it out. You ain't mentoring nobody. But see, with that juvenile court clerk, I told y'all who should have been the juvenile court clerk. Because, in my opinion, Henry Brooks set a standard. And when y'all see these candidates who's running for this juvenile court clerk, You need to pose the question to them. Do y'all plan to uphold and continue what Henry Brooks started as relates to monitoring the racist behavior of juvenile court? Do you have a plan for the protection of black boys and black girls, mainly black boys in that system? What is your plan? What is your funding? What outlook do you have for those boys? Like, what is it? So you need to ask that stuff. And also, when y'all go, let's go back to the DA's race. Ask all of them, what plans do you have as relates to protection of black men and black boys in that criminal justice system? Because I get tired of candidates always running, and the first thing that come out of their mouths is women and minorities. Like men don't vote in the city of Memphis, the county of Shelby. And black men, y'all need to get off y'all ass and start posing questions about your interests. Ask these DA candidates, what plan do you have to put in place a safeguard against some of the trappings of the criminal justice system that will protect black boys and black men? If they can't answer that question, don't vote for nobody. Abstain from voting. Because time out for them taking the black male vote or the male vote for granted. Because all they do is in the campaign is to women. And I know, well, women, they vote more than men. Who cares? Still men vote. In all these elections, women might vote at 96%, but black men vote at 94%. It's about half and half. So I don't understand why you don't specifically go out and campaign to men. They're always women and minorities. That was Ketanji Jackson's whole thing. I stand up for women and minorities. I'm sick of that. As a self-respecting black man, as a black male advocate, I want to encourage black men to get their issues in order and pose questions to these people that want to hold these public and state offices. What plan do you have in place for the safeguard of black men and black boys? What funding ideas do you have to bring about programs that will aid in the empowerment and encouragement of black boys and black men? And I'll continue to say that. You'll take our vote for granted. No, we don't vote when black men didn't get out of support because she was a woman. Black men, no, I'm over that. We're over that. It's a new day. Now, the beta male simps, now they're going to keep following up behind women. But I'm encouraging men, we have issues. And they need to respect our fresh. So especially when they're juvenile court clerk. No, go back. Because black men are the ones that really, the main cash cow of that doggone criminal justice system, that DA's office. Black men's bodies, blood, sweat, and tears flowing through that. In the words of Fannie Lou Hamer, just take a few of her words. She just said, black men's blood is drenched. And that the criminal justice system is drenched with black male blood. Did y'all hear me? So black men need to get off their asses and get their issues written down and pose questions. They need to create a voting block and say, all y'all want to do is campaign to women? Well, go let the women vote for you. And we'll save our votes for somebody, maybe some libertarian candidates, maybe some Republican candidates. You Democratic women and Democratic men never come to black men and ask them anything. Yeah, I said it. So let's go to the juvenile court. Now I need to ask them, what are the plans, juvenile court candidates? Y'all want to come in for these weird reasons? Everybody wants a job, but nobody wants to do the work. See, as a member, still a member of District 7 City Council and County Commissioner, mainly District 7, North Memphis, 38108, I've had to sit through and suffer through at least 4 city council persons who use District 7 as a stepping stone to become state representative or county mayor, Lee Harris. Or just to get some fake deals under the table just for you, Berlin boy. Now you got this attractive little young woman, Micheline Easter Johnson, whatever her name is. The first thing she does when she gets elected out of District 7 is try to put a damn Black Lives Matter sign up. What the hell does that got to do with economic empowerment in District 7? I'm out of Hollywood and Springdale and Hyde Park and Douglas. We don't need no damn Black Lives Matter sign in front of 201 Poplar, her and JB smiling. I'm just saying. But that seems to be the height of her ability. That seems to be the height of the ability of these people that's running for office. So if you're going to run for juvenile court clerk, lay out the plan of protection for these boys. and these young men who are caught up in the juvenile justice system. That's what they should be asking these people. If they can't answer the question, they should go out and protest and say, get out of the race. You have no business running just to get a salary with your lazy behind. In Memphis, that's been happening in Memphis for decades. And could anybody tell me why the hell is Councilman Joe Brown still on his damn near, I won't say sick bed, but sick legs, holding the office in the county, in the city? Why? You know, what's going on? And you got, and I love her. What's her name? She's 92 years old. I think this might be her last year. I forget the lady's name. Y'all know her name? She's still a district, let's see, District 92, 62. What's her name? I can't remember her, and I love her, but you're 92 years old, ma'am. Come on. It's time to move on. But we know what Dallas has one of her, too. Her name is Eddie Bernice Johnson. She about 80. She finally named somebody, a young person, to take her place. You know, we got to stop this old way of doing politics. If you really care about the black community, act like it. You need to ask these candidates, when's the last time you read a Malcolm X book, and then tell me something about it, what you read. We need to ask these black candidates, have you ever heard of Dr. Claude Anderson? Have you ever read Black Labor, White Wealth, or Powernomics? These are the kind of candidates we need running for these offices. We don't need these Church of God in Christ folks. We don't need these black Greeks always running. As soon as they get in there, all the thing they do is talk about, well, I'm the city council. I'm the state representative. Nothing. The black sections of Memphis, which is all of them, just about look like junk. And something needs to be done. So that's my opinion about both of those particular races. And all the races, as a matter of fact, we need black men in their town need to get up and stand up and demand representation, because they're taking you for granted. Across the country, they take the black male vote for granted. In my hometown, they take the black male vote for granted because black men sit around and want to talk about sports all damn day, instead of talking about the importance of how politics actually work for us as a group. Yeah. If you don't like the Republican, Democratic, check out the Libertarian Party, or create your own party, because there's enough male voters in there to make a dent in the politics in Memphis. But we have to get together and have our own men's political meeting and make it happen. But I don't know if they're ready for that yet. These are just suggestions. So, but anywho, hey, Pearl Walker, Hair Diva, what's up? You called me as I was closing up. I guess you listened to the playback. But if you want to talk to me, you can go ahead and push that little green button. If anybody want to talk to me, you can go ahead and push that little green button right there. You see that little red button on your phone there, Pearl Walker? Just press that, and we can have this. If you want to talk and ask me questions and stuff. There's anybody else who's in the room. Y'all want to talk to me? There's a little green button right there. Yeah, who's this? Okay. Let me get right here and let me get to a place where we can talk. Let me see. Send invite. Boom. Let's see, it'll let you in. Are you accepting, my friend? Hey, good.
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been listening a couple of minutes. I didn't catch you from the beginning, but I've been listening a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know you called me at the end when I'm trying to encourage the men to get off their butts and act like they're a political group in the city.
Yeah. Maybe y'all should do a PAC, a political action committee.
I'm encouraging them to do that because I've always said that black men are like 10 or 20 years behind the politics of race, sex, and gender. And they're still around here wondering why things are still happening to them, but they're not becoming active participants in the process. They're being processed through the system, but they're not becoming part of the systematic process. Come on, somebody. Oh, glory. So we got to get these guys motivated, Pearl Eva.
Well, what do you think it would take to motivate them?
Just first, you got to say, hey, you're aware that you live in the city too, right, bro? You're aware that you pay taxes too. Don't you want to see something different? You have to actually put it on their minds. Because I don't think it's on their minds, the masses of them. You got the few little small group of men that particular group who are in the know politically, but the masses, the masses are never in the know. They're too busy living and doing other stuff.
I don't think it's on the mind of even beyond black males. I don't think it's on the minds of the masses, and people don't really see the connection. But whether you're for or against, whether you vote or not vote, elected officials, they do make decisions that affect our lives.
Amen. I'm talking this way because it took me a while to grow into this. I'm like, man, forget this, all that. But with one who's paying attention to what's going on in society, and everybody's getting a piece of the pie because they're coalescing. And the only group who has not coalesced is black men. They have not politically formed a coalition to get a chunk of this and get some things, pointed in their direction, economically, educationally, or systematically in general, except for the negative aspects of it. So I want to encourage them to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
When
And
you finish up.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for
you coming
chiming
on.
in. Thank you for supporting the Memphis Raise Your Expectations page.
Well, thank you
All the
for
way from Dallas.
Thank you for creating it. This is finally a place where people can talk about what's going on in Memphis politically and otherwise. So I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome.
Right on here, Diva. I don't know how you leave. Let me see.
You can close me out, and then you can.
How you
Oh,
do
I
that?
see. And then you can go. I'm a hop off, and
Okay.
then you can close it out.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Bye. See you in the future. Peace.
Bye.
Got it? Okay. So thank you, Hair Diva, Pearl Eva. Anybody else would like to talk to me really quick before I leave? Go ahead and press that little button. If you have any questions or observations or objections to what I said in the last 30 minutes or so, go ahead and hit that little button. I'll let you in. I got a second. If you want to talk. I don't know if there's anybody in here. I think it's maybe, how many people have made it on? We got a few people in here. If you want to talk to me, I don't mind. You can ask me anything. I got a couple of seconds if you want to ask me, because I've winded it down already. And then those of you who missed it, you can go back and just listen to the playback and just put your comments on there. You know how y'all do. Okay. I don't see the dot. Just press that little button right there. There's a little green or red button dot there that you can press if you want to get invited on to talk. I don't mind. Because I think I can back up pretty much everything I said. But why do I need to back up an opinion? They're just opinions. And I'll call them aggressive suggestions. But see y'all next time, Memphis Raise Your Expectations. Thank you, Pearl, for creating this platform. And I am out. See y'all in the future. Peace.